Welcome to the HP Finance World YouTube channel. Let's calculate your growth in every city you dream to live for. In Singapore, owning a car is an extraordinary luxury. A standard Toyota Camry Hybrid costs around 250,000 Singapore dollars, approximately 6 times more expensive than in the US, due to unique taxes and fees. This exorbitant cost stems from two primary financial hurdles every prospective car owner faces: the Certificate of Entitlement, or COE, and the additional registration fee, known as ARF. The Certificate of Entitlement, or COE, is not the car itself, but merely the right to own and register a vehicle. This privilege alone recently cost as much as $116,020 for the open category auto. The additional registration fee, or ARF, is the main car tax calculated based on the car's open market value, OMV. This significant charge adds substantially to the overall price. In his Budget 2023 speech, Deputy Prime Minister Lawrence Wong announced significant changes. The ARF for cars with an OMV above 80,000 Singapore dollars increased from 220% to a staggering 320%. This tax hike specifically targeted cars with an OMV exceeding 80,000 Singapore dollars, affecting the top one-third of vehicles. The increase aimed to better differentiate between luxury cars and mass-market vehicles. These changes were expected to generate an additional 200 million Singapore dollars in revenue annually. This move underscored the government's aim to tax luxury cars at a higher rate. Consider a car with an open market value of $100,004. Under the new rules, its additional registration fee would be calculated at 320% of open market value, resulting in an astounding 320,000 Singapore dollars additional registration fee. Deputy Prime Minister Wong stated that there was room to inject more progressivity into car taxes. This was to better distinguish cars and tax luxury models at a higher rate. Singapore's high car taxes are primarily driven by its limited land area. As a small island nation, unchecked vehicle growth would quickly lead to unbearable congestion. Therefore, car taxes serve as a crucial tool for traffic congestion management. By making car ownership expensive, the government actively discourages widespread private vehicle use. Instead, Singapore promotes its highly efficient public transport system. The government committed over $60 billion to expand and renew its rail network over the next decade. The government also frames these taxes as aiming for a progressive vehicle tax system. The goal is to ensure those who can afford more contribute a higher share. Despite these progressive taxes and soaring costs, luxury car brands like BMW and Mercedes continue to thrive in Singapore. Sales remain robust, particularly among the wealthy. Analysts suggest that these tax increases might even reinforce a sense of exclusivity for luxury car buyers. Making cars more expensive only solidifies their status symbols for the ultra-rich. For Singapore's ultra-rich, the additional levies are often considered chump change. These adjustments are unlikely to significantly impact their purchasing decisions for high-end vehicles. Ultimately, Singapore's unique tax system solidifies car ownership as an elite luxury. It effectively creates a market where only the wealthiest can afford the privilege of personal vehicle convenience. The cost of a Certificate of Entitlement, or COE, hit a record high of $146,002 in Singapore, underscoring the intense demand for car ownership despite the steep prices. Singapore introduced the 10-year Certificate of Entitlement system in 1990. It was primarily an anti-congestion measure to control the number of vehicles on its limited roads. COEs are sold in auctions held every 2 weeks. The government meticulously controls the number of certificates available for sale, regulating the car population. With taxes and import duties, this system has made Singapore arguably the most expensive country in the world to buy a car, a title it consistently holds. There are different types of COEs for various vehicle categories. These include smaller cars, motorcycles, and commercial vehicles, each with its own bidding dynamics. COE prices have hit record highs for several consecutive months, driven largely by a post-pandemic economic recovery. This recovery fueled increased demand for new cars. Anticipation of government rebate cuts for COEs next year also contributed to the price surge. Buyers rushed to secure certificates before costs potentially climbed even higher. The lowest COE price for a car, 104,000 Singapore dollars, has almost tripled since 2020. This stark increase reflects significantly less demand for new cars during the pandemic lockdowns. The open category COE, which has no restrictions on vehicle type, also reached a record high of 152,000 Singapore dollars. This category often attracts bids for premium vehicles. Despite its relatively small size, Singapore consistently ranks as having one of the largest numbers of millionaires in the world. This wealth drives the demand for luxury items. For ordinary Singaporeans with an average salary of about 70,000 Singapore dollars, the COE scheme makes car ownership extremely challenging. It remains largely out of reach for many. As of the end of last year, Singapore had just under 1 million private cars on its roads. This number is carefully managed through the Certificate of Entitlement system. The number of new COEs available for sale depends directly on how many older cars are taken off the road. This ensures a controlled and sustainable vehicle population. Another significant change introduced in Budget 2023 was a 60,000 Singapore dollars cap on the Preferential Additional Registration Fee, or PARF, rebate for deregistered cars. This $60,000 cap specifically affects cars with an open market value exceeding $40,000. It targets higher-end vehicles that had previously enjoyed more substantial rebates. Previously, a car with an OMV of 100,000 Singapore dollars could receive an equal PARF of 100,000 Singapore dollars upon deregistration. Now, the owner will only receive 60,000 Singapore dollars back. This cap further raises the annual depreciation cost for high-value cars, like Porsches, Ferraris, Bentleys, and Rolls-Royces, making their ownership even more premium. Interestingly, several electric cars are also affected by this double whammy of higher upfront costs and lower residual values. Many EVs tend to have a higher OMV. Like previous car tax adjustments, these recent changes were expected to have an immediate impact on both car buyers and sellers in the Singaporean market. Motor traders holding transferable open category COEs were also affected. These COEs can be used to register any vehicle type except motorcycles. Deputy Prime Minister Lawrence Wong explicitly stated that buyers of cars with an OMV of 40,000 Singapore dollars or less would be unaffected by these particular ARF changes. The changes took effect from the next round of Certificate of Entitlement bidding, which closed on February 22, showcasing how quickly these policies are implemented. The 2023 ARF hike was not an isolated event. It was preceded by a similar ARF increase announced as far back as 2013, indicating a long-term pattern of increasing car taxes. Previously, the ARF was capped at 220% of OMV for cars above 80,000 Singapore dollars. This rate was also the result of similar tax increases in prior years. Other cars with an OMV exceeding 40,000 Singapore dollars were also affected. They now face an ARF of 190% for the first 20,000 Singapore dollars, above 40,000 Singapore dollars, then 250% for the next 20,000 Singapore dollars. Previously, the first 30,000 Singapore dollars in OMV over 50,000 Singapore dollars attracted 180% of ARF, capped at 220% of OMV above 80,000 Singapore dollars. This older system was also quite complex. The Singapore dollar 60,000 cap on PARF rebates was also a move to cool the overheated premium car market. This aimed to temper demand for high-end vehicles. Singapore is a tiny island nation, with a total land area of just over 728 square kilometers. Its limited size is a fundamental driver of its strict vehicle policies. The government's strategy is to manage urban density and ensure quality of life for its 5.5 million residents. Uncontrolled car growth would compromise this balance. Singapore's economic prosperity contributes to increased purchasing power, creating a tension between its citizens' desires for personal vehicles and the finite land available. In Singapore, the government frames car ownership as a luxury, not a necessity. This philosophical stance underpins all related tax and policy decisions. Given Singapore's ongoing challenges with land constraints and traffic management, further tax adjustments are likely in the future. These policies are dynamic. The notion of injecting more progressivity into car taxes is meant to address equity concerns, where higher earners contribute more to societal needs and infrastructure. The differentiation between mass-market cars and luxury cars is key to this progressive approach. Policy aims to lessen the burden on average citizens while taxing the affluent. Singapore's model for car ownership is truly unique globally, blending economic prosperity with severe geographical constraints through ingenious, if costly, policy mechanisms. The city-state presents a stark contrast: a highly developed economy coexisting with an extremely restricted personal mobility landscape for the majority. This system has cemented Singapore's reputation as a place where car ownership is predominantly for the rich only. It is a defining characteristic of its urban identity. Singapore consistently pushes the boundaries of urban mobility thought. Its policies offer a bold vision for how densely populated cities can manage transportation challenges. These high taxes and public transport promotion also serve sustainability goals, reducing emissions and reliance on fossil fuels in a global push toward greener cities. While extreme, Singapore's approach offers valuable lessons for other global cities facing similar pressures of urbanization, congestion, and environmental concerns. The constant adjustment of tax rates and policies represents a delicate balancing act. Singapore aims to manage its unique constraints while maintaining economic dynamism. Ultimately, Singapore's system showcases the high cost of stringent urban control. It prioritizes order and efficiency over the widespread availability of private vehicle ownership. This system offers a glimpse into a potential future for other prosperous, densely populated metropolises. It asks, at what cost comes the privilege of the road? What are your thoughts on Singapore's car tax system? Share your comments below and subscribe for more deep dives into global economic and urban phenomena.